as per the given example. So whenever a teacher takes attendance or she maintains all the data of a student, individual student, like attendance, marks, okay, everything. So why that data is maintained? That data is maintained for future reference, isn't it? So whenever, suppose your parents are coming to the college, we can show them the data, that this is the data of your kid, or this is the information of your child, isn't it? So that data or that documentation is used for further reference, isn't it? Similarly, when you are going to develop a software, right? When you are going to develop a software, and when you are going to follow, right, when you are going to follow SDLCs, that is system development life cycles. So what are different software development life cycles? We have waterfall model, Moem spiral model, right? Then we have evolutionary models, prototyping model. All these are called as software development life cycles models, right? Isn't it? So when we follow those step-by-step development of the software, okay, there are certain steps. Okay, what are those steps? We have like requirement collection, then we have designing, then we have implementation and coding, and then we have testing, and then we have maintenance. So there are different phases which are involved in this software development life cycle. So at each phase, the developer is going to maintain some document. So that is called as the requirement document. It is basically also called as SRS, that is software requirement specification. Okay. So in examination, this question will be asked for 10 marks. You have to write all the steps, okay, or you have to tell what is the content of this document. So this document is maintained during the development of a software. After completion of each phase, okay, the related team member is going to update this document, right? They are going to maintain every information in this document. So that is also called as the requirements document, or it is also called as software requirements specification. So they may ask you to explain the structure of SRS or what are the contents of SRS, right? So more officially, it is an official statement of what is required of the system development. So what are the requirements of a developer or the designer? Okay, all those information are present in this document, right? So it should include both user requirement and a specification of system requirement. It includes all the details like functional requirements, non-functional requirements of a system, okay, then what is included in designing, what part is carried out in coding, what you did with the implementation, testing and maintenance. The every phase activity is included in this document, right? So it should set, okay, what the system should do rather how it should do. It exactly means that it will tell us that how all the activities are carried out during the software development, right? So what should be done? That is decided by developer, designer, tester and all. What they do, right? What they do, that is included in this document, and how they carry out those activities, how they do designing, what designing terminologies are used, which system specification is used, okay, which hardware and software is used, right, how they are used in your software. All these details are present in a document which is called as a SRS, that is software requirement documentation. Fine. Now, so there are different system users here, right? So what are the system users? See, first user is the customer. Who is going to use that black book or that file, which is also called as SRS. Okay, so that is just a file, okay, which is a collection of data. So system customers are going to use that. So why they will use that? Customer is a person, one who is going to use the, okay, software, right? So why he is going to use that? He is going to use to specify the requirements and read them to check that they meet their needs. they specify changes to the requirement. So customer is going to read that entire SRS, and from that the customer will come to know, okay, whether the team has developed the correct software and have completed all their requirements, okay, whether their requirements are met in that software or not. So that is the one reason the system customers can refer the document, right? Then it can also be referred by the managers. Okay. So why they are going to refer that? Okay. Why managers are going to refer that? Okay. To plan a bid for the system and to plan the system development process. So the manager is going to check what activities are carried out during the software development, how can be this software beneficial, okay, to the organization, what we can do more with the software. So some decision making. So for some decision making, the manager is going to use this document. Okay. Nextly, it is also used by system engineers. Okay. So system engineers are nothing but what? The software engineers only. Sometimes the software is also called as a system because it is a combination of sometimes the hardware and software also, right? And a new uh, software is developed. That is why it is also called as a system. So system engineers means nothing but the developers, the coders, okay? And the system analyst also, the person, one who is going to collect the requirement, that person is called as what? A system analyst. So system engineers includes developers, analysts, and the coders, okay, designers, right? So they obviously use this document, right? So the analyst, what he will do, analyst will write his requirements in the first page, that is the system analyst. So after analyst, that collection of requirement is used by designer. Second person is the designer. So after designer, the developer, that is the coder, he is going to take references of the requirements and design, and then he will make the coding. Then after that, the fourth person, one who is involved, is called as a tester. So what tester is going to do? After completion of requirements, designs and coding, the tester's job begins. The tester will test whether the coding is done correctly or not, whether the designs are implemented in this code are correct or not. Then he will come to know whether all requirements are met in the design and coding or not. So that is why when the system analyst completes this phase, he will keep that information in this SRS. Same SRS is being referred by second, that is the designer. So designer also refers this SRS, and he will also enter information into SRS. Again, that SRS is being referred by the third person, that is the developer. So developer will also update this SRS, and then it is finally referred by this tester. So tester is going to refer all the documentation, okay, that is being entered by requirement analyst, designer, and developer. So he is going to refer all the data which is present in this SRS. Okay, so SRS plays very important role because it is used for further references, and after completion of each phase only the data is entered into SRS. You cannot change the data oftenly. Okay, after completion of each phase, when the phase is finalized, then only the information is added into the SRS. Okay. Now, test engineers, as I told you, these are the testers. So they are going to check whether the system requirements are met or not, whether the system has proper validations and verifications or not. Okay. Then system maintenance engineers. So who are system maintenance engineers? So once when the software is installed on the customer's desktop, okay, finally whatever problems comes, okay, with the hardware or with the software or with the user interfaces, those are managed by this team, which is called as a maintenance engineer, right? Okay, so in today's session we saw what is SRS, okay, so who are the users of SRS, right? So in the next session we will discuss what are the contents of SRS, okay. So as it is a 10 marks question, okay, so tomorrow in detail we are going to see what are the contents of this SRS. So this question is asked so many times in the examination. You can say expect this question 90%, right? So they will ask you what is the structure of SRS or what is the standard format of SRS. So SRS is nothing but requirement document only. All right. Okay. So we will stop here today. I hope you have entered your attendance.